One American News that now that the Mueller probe is closed, it is time for the American people to learn the truth about how the British government helped the Obama administration dodge the Fourth Amendment by spying on the 2016 Trump campaign for them.
One of the strengths and weaknesses or dangers of this Five Eyes cooperative is that it provides a channel for sharing intelligence information.
Johnson said there is a cooperation agreement between the intelligence services of the U.S., UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, the so-called Five Eyes Club, that allowed the Obama administration to access surveillance of U.S. citizens as foreign-gathered intelligence.
On this side of the ocean, who are at the highest levels in the U.S. intelligence community, as sort of an agreement to collect and share information and do it in a way that would not necessarily attract undue attention, but would provide a documentary record that could be then used to justify targeting Donald Trump.
Just as the Trump administration took office, a senior official in the Obama Pentagon had an unguarded moment on MSNBC.
I had a fear that somehow that information would disappear with the senior people who left. So it would be hidden away in the bureaucracy, that the Trump folks, if they found out how we knew what we knew about the Trump staff's dealing with Russians, that they would try to compromise those sources and methods.
We know that specifically from a former Department of Defense official under Obama named Evelyn Farkas. She admitted to it.
Johnson said in the beginning the British were simply curious about Donald Trump as he became a serious candidate for president.
The British did this in part, I'm given to understand by people who were familiar with what was up, is that they were concerned about Trump's policies on NATO and Syria, and they wanted to make sure that they could start understanding what he was up to.
One clear example of the UK surveillance was the monitoring of Trump campaign volunteer George Papadopoulos, he said.
How did George Papadopoulos come to the attention of both law enforcement and intelligence sources? And when you look at his story, you begin to realize his first communications from UK to the United States, they were emails. So maybe, and one or two phone calls, if I recall correctly. Well, those were intercepted. Absolutely, they were intercepted by the United Kingdom through its General Communications Headquarters. And then information was passed back to the United States through intel channels.
In fact, Papadopoulos, living in London, was told in early March 2016 that he could focus on American relations with Russia. 1 week later, an American intel asset, Professor Joseph Mifsud, approached him in Italy. Later on in March, Mifsud met with Papadopoulos in London and told him that he could introduce him to Russian President Vladimir Putin. And the Russian collusion hoax was born. 15 minutes after President Donald Trump took office, Obama National Security Advisor Susan Rice used her White House account to send an email to herself about the surveillance of the Trump campaign that read in part that President Barack Obama stressed, quote, his commitment to ensuring every aspect of this issue handled by